Hello, I am Dean and I'm the production manager for NIE for Snow White. So, some questions. What was it like to production manage Snow White? Well, it was and is really fun. They're a brilliant cast and creative team to work with. What's really fun is I get to do the job of the production manager. I get to be in rehearsals and do all of the prep for the show, and then I also get to do the job of the stage manager. So once we've got the show ready to open, I get to go and do all of the shows, and hopefully in the future we will be able to go to America, so I'll get to go there as well with it. So it's really fun and I get to spend lots of time with the cast. It's good. Is it different to production manage a show that's devised rather than a full script ready before rehearsal start? It is, yeah, but to be honest, most of the shows I do are devised. So it was quite a long time ago that I did a show that came into rehearsals with a script. But yeah, it's quite different. You have to be a lot more flexible as the production team because things will carry on changing all the way through rehearsals. Things are developing. The rehearsal room is very much, there's lots of playing and lots of developing ideas all the way through until right up until the final week of rehearsals. And then once you're in sort of the final week of rehearsals, you start to lock down the things that might be happening, and that's when I start to really take note of everything to make sure that we're ready to open a show. What were your biggest challenges for Snow White? I think probably the biggest challenge for Snow White, which was slightly put on hold, but probably the biggest challenge, the set for Snow White is largely made up of real trees, and the show was due to go to New York and LA, where you're not allowed to ship real trees over. So a really big challenge that I was in the process of working on was trying to source in New York and LA the exact specifications of real branches and trees that we needed for the show, and that was very difficult. So I'd say that was probably the biggest challenge. What was the biggest challenges from making Snow White change from an end-on to an in-the-round set? So it was Snow White was, when it was in Cambridge, it was actually traverse, not end-on. It was traverse and then it changed to in the round. And NIE have taken quite a few shows to the Tobacco Factory, and it is definitely always a challenge to take a show from traverse or end on to in the round. And all the time during rehearsals, there's at least 3 people. There's the director, there's an assistant director, and there's me, and then sometimes even someone from the Tobacco Factory like Mike or a producer, Mike the artistic director or producer, all sitting in the various different places. We have the in the round markup on the floor so that we know exactly where all the seats are, and all of the entrances and exits and all of the positions of the scenery on stage. And we've probably got at least 3, sometimes even 4 or 5 people sitting in all the different positions, checking on all the sight lines. So you're constantly checking the sight lines to make sure that everything works from the different positions in the auditorium. So that's one of the biggest challenges, is keeping on top of all of the sight lines when you go into the round. And I think that's it. Here we go. Thanks. Bye.